What's up, guys? I dragged out my Benchmade, what's it called? 730S November Edition Aries. And this is the knife that actually had got me inspired into knife making. It took me a long time to come to the decision to buy this knife. The price of this knife was a lot for the time. It was a lot for, I could never see paying this kind of money for a knife, which is about the time $150, which is pretty laughable now. I mean, people are buying way expensive, not more expensive knives than this. But I had bought this knife and it became kind of inspired, you know, about how it was made, the steel, the logos that were etched in. I began to peruse the knife magazines at my work on the magazine rack. I looked over at an employee and I said, yeah. I said, I think I'm going to do this. Looking at the heat treating ovens, the handle materials, the blade steel. I said, what the hell? I'm gonna give it a go. I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to give it a go. So the rest is history. So anyways, I went ahead, went down to Borders when it used to be open, and I bought the Wonder of Knife Making here. How to Make Knives. These are the first two books that I bought, and that's how I kind of got into knife making. So I began to go ahead and go to the coffee shop every day after work. Started to I'd be dead tired, I'd sit down, I'd read, and try to push myself through these books, and I'd learn a little bit. I'd go home every week, I'd buy a piece of equipment like a little belt sander from Sears, about a couple belt sanders, about my first forge. I used to use a chimenea over here. I'll show you that maybe later. I used to heat treat with charcoal. The good old days. So anyways, that's how I kind of got into knife making, So anyway, I made this video a little bit. I made this video last year. I called it Knife Maker's Education, and I went ahead and gave some of the breakdown of the resources that I used. I thought later on, this video could be better, so I deleted it, went ahead, decided to redo the video and show you some of the newer videos and materials that I bought. And when I first started doing this, there was no real college education, that you couldn't go to a school that would teach you how to make knives. Anyways, there wasn't a school where you can go make knives, go learn to make knives. Maybe you had a knife maker in the area that would kind of bring you in and teach you, and I did that a couple times. Had people that want to come up and learn, have me bring them over to the house and teach them how to make blades. And I'm just like at the point now where it's like I don't want anyone around me when I'm doing this, because it's just I'm bumping into them and they want to come over all the time. I'll be tired after work, and so anyway, I had that for a while. I had people coming over, I'd teach them how to do stuff. Well, people want to know. I say, just go to the bookstore. Go to the bookstore and look for some books on how to do it. That's what I did. So I started off with these first two. Went over to Borders one night, bought How to Make Knives by Bob Loveless, which had really nothing to do with me at the time because I didn't have the type of equipment Bob had. Then I went ahead and bought something that's a little more relevant. I had bought The Wonder of Knife Making by Wayne Goddard. This book, to me, was more relevant to me because I had kind of I was just getting into it. The next step I had was I went ahead and bought a belt sander from Sears, and I bought a heat treating source, which is a chimenea. I'll show you that in a little bit. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna go through some of the materials that I had purchased through the years that kind of allowed me to learn as a knife maker. Along, I guess you could say, semi self-taught means. Semi as in, I had to take some outside help from these educational materials, but self-taught in that I'd get out in the shop and just kind of experience the pitfalls myself and, learn as I went along. So there's some things in this book, in these materials, that I agree with. There's some things in these materials that I don't agree with. I found that some things in these materials that I've done work for me. A few things I didn't really quite like doing, and I figured out my own way to do it. So that's knife making, and the journey is different for every knife maker. Everybody comes on here and wants me to give them the silver bullet or the magic pill to figure all the stuff out on how to make a knife, and I can't do that because it's different. It's a different journey for everyone's knife making journey is going to be different. You may have a different grinder. You may, have a different way you stand, a different way you lean. You press against the, you lean on your heels maybe differently than I do. You press against the belt differently than I do. Okay, it's going to be different. And everybody wants to learn, wants this book that teaches you everything about it, and I haven't found that item yet. But I'll go through some stuff that I really did enjoy, and things that have helped me along the way, and I'm just going to start going through everything here. So like I showed you, the first book that I went through was Wonder of Knife Making by Wayne Goddard. It covers all kinds of stuff in here. You got different types of steels. Got leaves blowing in here. Different types of quench methods. There's different things you can try. What's this here? Straightening blades. I tried that. I didn't care for it. So that's an example. ABS flex test. Just really, this thing here, I've read it several times. I used to curl up with this thing all the time at the coffee shop. This thing here, I really get a kick out of here. This is the your tempering spectrums. Tells you what the different processes are to the steels as they go up on the heat scale. Kind of got a kick out of that. All the different knives he made. But still, absolutely invaluable. The forging, the smithy. He does a lot of homemade anvils and stuff. And see, this is interesting. Is you want to get into this. He has a breakdown of how to make certain items that you can use. So that's there's a forge that he made. This is really the first time guy that's just starting doing this. I would get one of these. I don't know what edition they're on now, but I would definitely pick up one of these. How to Make Knives of Bob Loveless. This is an old classic. Starts out with different knives that were made. Here's Bob's section where he scribes everything. Goes through all of his steps to make the drop point hunter, all the way to the name etching. If you go back here, I think it was Bill Moran has a section on how he makes his knives. So those are pretty good resources there. Blade Magazine, very good resource. Different types of we got a couple little articles now and then on what this is an older issue. Which, by the way, there's actually a famous YouTuber in this issue. Showing the knives he carries. Blade's Guide to Making Knives. This is pretty cool. This is a really cool book. Personally, I think it's either Goddard. I would actually start off with Goddard myself. If I did it all over again, I would still start off with Goddard. Some stuff by Leishman's there. Shows how he does some folded knives. Let's see what else we got. I think we even have we even have a guy making a hatchet in here somewhere. I mean, just crazy stuff in here. This is a good book. This actually has a whole, several different projects you can do. Not projects, but several different kind of how-to tutorials on what to do. Bo Bergman's knife making book, Scandinavian style knives. Not quite my cup of tea. I never really done any projects from this book. But, you know, there's always something to be learned. You know, like, he shows how to do I guess he's drilling the wood handles here and all that. So, yeah, it's a good book. $50 Knife Shop. What can I say about $50 Knife Shop? It's, well, anyways, let me just go through and show you some of the goodies here. There's a forge made from, looks like some kind of barbecue. There's an anvil made from different items. I mean, talks kind of about how you can make your own stuff. And the idea was that the knife shop could cost only $50 if you go to the yard sales and you play your cards right. So, anyways, these are the ones that I would suggest for the first two you start out with: the Wonder of Knife Making and $50 Knife Shop. Tim McCrate's Custom Knife Making book. So yeah, Custom Knife Making: 10 projects from a master craftsman, Tim McCrate. This is really cool. You know, imagine if you like followed all 10 of these projects. You could learn something, how to set up your shop. I mean, really a lot of resources packed into one publication. You know, so that's a good one. Yes, classic Bob Terzula's The Tactical Folding Knife: A Study of the Anatomy and Construction of the Liner Lock Folder. This is really a pretty cool book. I don't know if it's in print. I don't know if any of these are in print, by the way, but here's kind of a breakdown on how to do liner lock folders. These are, I learned quite a bit doing this. I did a lot of things when I did my liner locks that I was able to pull from this book and use for my own projects. Jan's Supply, they're a supplier. Good supplier. You can order all kinds of stuff from here. You can order the G10 and the steel and the you know, whatever you need, pretty much. You know, you can go ahead and go online and, you know, browse their online site. Texas Knife Maker Supply, they're a good outfit. They got all kinds of good stuff in their catalog too. You can get these catalogs from the suppliers. Just I throw some suppliers out there so you can, you know, look to see what you need to get. I mean, there's also this thing called Google that you can use. You put what you want to find in it, and it'll also direct you to maybe perhaps vendors and retailers and other things you need to know. It's called the internet. Okay. These are cool videos. A guy named Chris Crawford does these videos, and I got basic tactical folders. And I watch this thing sometimes as entertainment. It's like 2 hours and 26 minutes long, and Alan Leischwitz demonstrates the process. He goes through literally, just starts with titanium sheets, locks up composite and blade steel, and just goes ahead and just creates a whole knife. It just shows how he does it from start to finish. No pre-cut parts. No, you know, how to order from a machinist. Just amazing video. I do a couple things different as far as, you know, a little bit different on the process, but still a really good resource. Tactical Fixed Blades, Chris Crawford presents. It's demonstrated by Leischwitz. It's how Leischwitz does some of his fixed blades. Interesting take on the concept where he has a full scale, then he has this scale here. You know, with this bolsters permanently on there though, but it shows how to do the grinding. He actually showed kind of how, you know, the lines that you scribe into the bluing. He showed how to do that, which I finally got that explained to me. It's like, whoa, that's how they do that. Okay, cool. I used to just kind of eyeball everything. Drops a lot of good tips on how to make fixed blades. I'm just buying this for I just bought this for informational purposes, and. This is Chris Crawford Knives presents Lever Action Autos. It's a start to finish process on how to make switchblades. Pretty cool. A lot of things that went into the process that I never guessed. Lever action style switchblade. Pretty cool video. Kind of shows how to do the mechanism and everything. I was really enlightened by that. So, anyways, I want to go ahead and show you. I just want to show you what I came up with in the knife making trade or endeavor, I guess you could say. And yeah, I don't know what it was. Sorry to kind of stumble through this video, guys. I'm just a little out of practice as far as doing videos go. So, anyways, I'll talk to you before Christmas. Merry Christmas, and see ya. So here's the Chiminea, and I needed a heat treat source. We went to Osh to buy this thing. We need to spray paint it. And here's the base. And we bought the bricks for this base. And it was hilarious because I was loading these in the back of my truck, and the rear shocks were actually like bottoming out the back of my pickup. And we were driving home. I pulled up to the front of the house and then wheeled them over the side of the house back here. And then we began to more or less grout these things together and construct this thing, you know, this base, and put the chimney on top. And driving home, I remember telling my dad, I said that, you know, knife making's pretty hard work. I haven't even, I think I only made one knife at that point. You know, and then I got the forge, you know, later on. That made it a lot easier. But, yeah, this is what I used to heat treat it. I'd put charcoal in that, and I would just go ahead and it would take like forever to heat up, and